Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is a little different. So I thought to myself, I put so much time and effort in making tutorials for Christmas decorations. I'm ready to put some time and effort into making a tutorial for gifts that you can give. So this, what I have in mind can be either a cross bookmark, or you can put these in your Christmas cards and mail them to your family and friends. So they're super thin, so they'll fit perfect in your card. And if you choose to use these bows, these little beads actually slide forward or slide around, like there's a little piece of thread right there. So when you put them in your card, you can just push that bead down and then put it in your card and put it in your envelope, and nobody will ever know. But they're super easy. Basically what we do is we chain a length, chain, 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 single crochet, double, picot, single crochet, picot, single, that's it. And it's super easy. And then I actually had a few more of these made, even in color. This is what we're going to make today, but I already got rid of them. So you've seen them in the thumbnail picture. But what you're going to need. Okay, so for mine, I love this yarn, super soft, sport weight. So this is an average size 3 weight. And then I used a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. You can get away with a 4, it'll just be a tad bit larger. So mine measures just about 4 by 3. So 4 inches by 3 inches. So yours will come out just a tad bit bigger. And then obviously you're going to need like little decorations. So I went through my stash, and the perfect thing that I found was this Ziploc bag of bows that I have that I got from Walmart. You can use whatever you want to. You don't have to use bows, or you can make your own bow. Then I pushed that through way too far. Did not mean to do that. I have a blocking mat right here, and it's some T-pins that I use to block with. You can block these however you want to. You don't have to block them. I choose to block them because they want to twist really bad, and just, pinning them down and hitting them with the steam of my iron, it takes that twist out of it. And I show you exactly how to do it in this video. So if you want to block them using the steam setting on your iron, you can do it that way. You can actually run these under some warm water and then wring out all the excess water, and then pin them the exact same way I pin them in the tutorial, and let them dry, like set them in front of a fan, and that should work. However, just keep in mind, if your water is too hot, that it will probably ruin that yarn. And then after that, a hot glue gun, I apologize, to apply whatever decorations you want. And that's it. That is how simple and easy this tutorial is. So I hope you guys make all sorts of them. And then in the description box, there are links to my social medias that I'm on, all the platforms I'm on, and my email. So if you make these, please, please, please post them, tag me, email me, anything you want to do, because I would love to see these. I think you guys could come up with 100 different variations of these, and I would love to see them. Okay, and that is it. So get your, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. Stitch marker. Okay, that's it. Get your supplies together and let's get started. All right, so to get started, let's get a slip knot on our hook. And as always, plenty of tail to weave in. And we're going to start with a chain of 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our chain. Well, how about this? Let me get some length out so I can show you what I'm doing here. Once you finish chaining your 20, hold it out so that the front of the chain is facing you, right? There's no back bumps. Those are all to the back. And what I want you to do is come from the bottom, grab your chain, rotate it, and bring it to you. The reason being is because when we slip stitch into this first chain to make our little loop for the bottom of our little bookmark or insert for our card, we want to slip stitch through this chain so that when we work our slip stitch, we're going to be working over the side loop and the back loop. So if we look at the bottom of our hook, there's one loop right there. We want both loops on top of our work. The reason being is because that prevents the hole from stretching real wide whenever we're working our project and once we're done. All right, so once you get in there, let me get a little closer so you can see the side loop right there, and then right there is the back loop. All right, so go ahead and yarn over and pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook for a slip stitch. And we can pull that tail tight, and it'll tighten that down nice and pretty, and it won't stretch out real big while we're working. Okay, so that is the bottom shaft of our cross. Now we're going to work the T portion on the right hand side. So we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so make sure the front of your stitches are facing you. Come down. You can see right here, see what looks like let me get a needle so I can use that to point. It's so much easier to have a needle to point with than my fingers. Okay. So with all of our chains facing us, you can see right here looks like I call it a belt on a heart. Right here's our heart, and right here's our belt. That was my cat, if you guys heard that. Anyway, this is our first chain after that slip stitch we just worked. So what we're going to do is come down to this first chain and work the slip stitch the same way. We want to go through that first chain so that the side loop and the back loop are going to be on top of our hook. All right, so go in there just like that. The top loop and the back loop are on the top, and on the back there's one loop. Okay, now we want to slip stitch. Perfect. So there is our little side, the T portion of our cross. So now we're going to do the top. So we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Same thing, we're going to come down here. You can see your little belt loop on your first heart. Just get everything out of the way and come down and go through that first chain so that the side loop and the back loop are on top of your hook. And if you rotate your work, there's one little loop on the bottom of your hook. Bring it through and slip stitch. So there is our top. Now we need the second part. I said that really weird. The second part of our T section. So we're going to chain 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, come back down and you can see there's your little belt loop. Right there's your little belt loop, and there's your heart. That's your first chain. So again, bring it down, go through that first chain so that the two loops are on the top of your hook, and slip stitch. I think I split my yarn. Maybe I didn't. Did I? Yep. Okay, so that is essentially the shape of our cross. But we need to get back down into this long piece, the long bottom portion. But I don't want a huge extra stitch right there. So what we're going to do is, with all of your chains facing you, turn your work, and on the back, we are going to catch a loop, a back loop. It doesn't matter which one. Just get into one of those back loops and slip stitch. And that keeps that stitch to the back. And then just go straight into the bottom portion of our cross and slip stitch again. If you don't get that back loop, it's not a huge deal. It just makes it a little cleaner on the edge. All right, so chain 1, and what we are going to do is work 5 single crochet into our bottom portion. So 1, 2, and if you want, go ahead and mark that very first single crochet with a stitch marker. All right, so that was 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to go right back in there again with 7 double crochet. So if you need to scooch your single crochets down, go ahead. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, now we are going to work a chain 4 picot. So what we do is chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to come back to that very first chain, so the 4th chain from our hook. And we're not going to work the way we slip stitch for the rest of the cross where we had the 2 loops on top. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go straight into the side loop, 1 loop on the top of our hook, and slip stitch. I split my yarn again. There we go. All right, now we're going to go back into this chain and work 7 double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more is 5. Now if you notice, can you see how all of these single crochets are butted up right against the cross, the T portion of our cross, and then we got a little space right here? Don't worry about that too much. We will adjust that once we get all the crocheting done, okay? All right, so we're going to jump right to the first portion of our cross, or the T portion, and we're going to go in there with 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to work the chain 4 picot. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Come down to the first chain or the 4th chain from your hook and slip stitch, and go right back in there with 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing with the spacing of our stitches on this. And we're going to repeat that for the next 2 pieces. 5 single, chain 4 picot, 5 single. 5 single, chain 4 picot, 5 single. So I'm going to go right into that next little chain section. 1, 2, 3. get some slack. Four, 5, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, come down, slip stitch to the 4th chain from your hook, and go back in there with 5 single. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, jump to the next chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch to the 4th chain from your hook and go right back in there with 5 single. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so we have made it all the way around, and it looks a little wonky right now. But what we're going to do is slip stitch to that very first single crochet. Go right in there and slip stitch, chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. So we are done with the little cross. For Pete's sake, if I had all my stuff together ready to go when I when I start filming, that'd be amazing. Okay, so cut, pull that tight, and now you can go ahead and weave in your ends if you want to, but we are going to work on shaping this little thing. So I'm going to get my my blocking pad and my pins. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my ends weaved in. I got my blocking pad here. I got my pins. So I'm going to first start by going straight in the middle. Straight down the middle. Make sure you actually catch some of the yarn. Don't go straight through the hole. And then I want this to stay, the T portion to be nice and straight. So I'm just going to move everything around. I'm not going to go into the picot. I'm going to go into the actual, like the top of the T section right there, because I don't want the picot to be real pointy. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Kind of give it a pull. Move those stitches around. Just like that. Perfect. All right. Ow. Sorry. And I'm going to do the same thing at the top. Just like that. And then the same thing here at the bottom. These little things are sharp. Just give it a pull like that. There we go. Okay, so now I am going to use my iron. There we go. And I'm not going to get it very close because this 3-weight yarn is, is real, what's the word I want to say? Thin. And if you get it too close, and I've made this mistake. Actually, let me go grab one that I made the mistake on and I'll show you guys. If you get it too close, I'm giggling because I bet you guys heard my slippers on my carpet. Anyway, so if you block these, right, and you get your iron too close with that steam, it just literally turns into just all kinds of floppy. And I don't want that. I want it to have a little stability. And I mean, I like it. It's perfectly, there's a little hot glue stuck to it. It's perfectly, you know, still, you know, good enough to be given away in my cards, but I just want it to have a little more stability to it. So what I'm going to do, so let me get these put up. How can I show this to you? I'm probably going to stay, so if you can see how tall these pins are, I'm going to stay, I mean, higher than these pins away. Let me, So these are probably 1.5 inch long, tall pins. I'm probably going to go a good 3 inches away from my cross when I hit the steam setting on my iron. It should be ready any minute now. Should hear it start blowing steam out. But then, after we get that done, I'm going to let it dry for a little bit, and then I will hot glue one of my bows onto it. And like I said in the intro, you guys can use whatever you want, or you don't even have to put anything on here. You can leave it just the way it is. It's still adorable. I mean, I'm trying to think of something else I may have in my stash, my crafting stash, to put on here, but I don't know. I couldn't think of anything or find anything else I liked. I liked the bow. And I suck at making a bow, so I am not going to make a bow. That is like the bane of my existence, is trying to make a pretty bow, because I get so upset just because it's not perfect and it's not the way I want it to be. So then I'm just like, forget it. I'll just use one that I bought. But anyway, let's see. I think this may be hot enough. Oh yeah, it's hot enough. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to stay a good 3 inches from the top, or from my cross. Okay, so it's warm. I think it may stay. I may go a little bit closer. Okay, yeah, that's good. I can feel the stitches loosened. So I'm going to stop there. I don't want to do anymore. All right, let me set my iron to the side. So, I mean, you guys could get like a whole assembly line going of these. Let me take out this pin and see what we got. There we go. And you can see it still has a little bit of stability to it. I mean, it's not perfectly, or I mean, it's not floppy like this is. I may go ahead and turn it over and hit it again on the back. Just because, can you see how the T portion of the cross wants to kind of twist a bit? See it right there? I'm going to do one more time from the back. I'm sorry. Turn it over. Just to give it the, hey, I want you to lay this way, not that way. So stop. One more time. Okay. I like that. Just going to stop and let that dry. Shut my iron off, and then I will, while I'm letting this dry for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my hot glue gun and go get a bow that I want to glue on there. All right, I will be right back. Okay, so I have let this dry for a minute. I got my hot glue gun here. I was making sure I turned it on. Okay, so I am just going to put a little dab of hot glue back here. And set that. Right on there. And there you go. You have a cross bookmark. I plan on putting these in my Christmas cards and mailing them out. They're flat enough, it ain't going to hurt anything. And that bead, if you get your little bows from Walmart, the bead moves and it pushes right down between the bow, and you'll never even feel it in the envelope. So it's perfect. Let me get it back up. Uh-oh. There it goes. I was like, oops, I accidentally hot glued it. All right, so quick, simple little tutorial, perfect gift idea. I thought, you know, I have spent so much time working on Christmas decorations. I want to make something that you guys can gift people. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss what's next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.